So, I've been using the Apple Watch Series 11 for the past couple of weeks, and although I'm not a smartwatch fanatic, this thing has truly surprised me. Welcome to the review. The Apple Watch Series 11 is the newest Apple Watch that released September 2025, starting at $400. And compared to the Series 10, this watch feels more like an update than a full-on refresh, with the same design, display quality, and core experience of the Series 10, but now with an improved battery life, better screen durability, and 5G connectivity. We'll talk about the significance of those momentarily. With this year's model, there are a ton of different variants you can purchase. I went with a smaller 42mm version in black with its corresponding color band. And taking a look at the design, this watch looks really good. The screen has an edged-edge display that, despite being pretty small, is very pleasant to look at, and it's always on display. It makes it so that you don't have to tap or do any gesture to see the time. You can just glance at your wrist and see that nice display. Now, I've never been a big fan of square watches since I tend to wear circular timepiece type of watches, but this has definitely grown on me over time. The band and case that I have on it all make the watch look very sleek and allow it to blend into my work outfits without creating a distraction for my patients or me. The watch comes in at 30.3 grams or approximately 0.06 pounds, which is perfect because if you're like me and you wear this thing a lot to work, to sleep, to work out, everything, you don't feel that weight. Oftentimes, I even forget it's on, just like my usual watches. It's that light. And on a daily basis, using the watch has been fairly intuitive since it's pretty minimalist. The two side buttons on the device, the digital crown for navigating the software, and the side button for easy app access, make the watch easier to use and control on the fly, especially if you don't want to use the touchscreen. The software does take a while to get used to with the small screen, especially texting. My gosh, that is rough for me to do with my fingers, but you get used to it over time and learn a few tricks of the trade. Let's talk about my experience with this watch for the past couple of weeks. Like I said previously, I use this watch on the daily and nightly. I wake up with it, go to work with it, work out with it after work, answer phone calls with it, and then go to bed with it on to track my sleep. Apple introduced Sleep Score with this watch that actually comes with previous Apple Watches from Series 6 and up. And the Sleep Score app assesses the general quality of your sleep, giving it an overall score between 1 to 100. Having that and monitoring how well I've been sleeping has been super informative, especially when I know that I'm exhausted or stressed. I can see how that impacts my sleep, good or bad. Moreover, Workout Buddy is another new feature on the new Apple Watch operating system that is an AI companion that helps you during your workouts. The voice can keep you updated on your exercise status, keep you posted on your intervals, and even assess whether you started a new workout and or ended another. It's a great quality of life feature that has come in quite handy as I've been wearing this watch day to day. Originally, I'll admit that I found this watch to be a bit expensive for what I perceived it was and have been on the fence for an Apple Watch for actually quite a while. But after speaking to numerous coworkers and friends who use the Apple Watch, I decided to give it a go. And I've been really pleased with the result. It's been really fun to use and insightful with my workouts, such as knowing my running pace and heart rate cardio zone. And I even like the small gimmicks, like answering your phone calls with the watch. It's a cool little feature that allows me to kind of feel like a clone trooper from Star Wars with the comm links. I love talking to my watch, even when I don't need to. But I don't love talking to Siri. I've heard from the grapevine there will allegedly be a Siri update coming out in the somewhat near future, but at the moment, she is just not up to today's standards. She does not understand what I'm asking, and she never answers my questions to the extent I need them answered. Granted, I do ask some detailed questions and that do have very tough to spell words because I work in healthcare, so I understand if Siri has no idea what this is. But if I'm asking Siri to call my friend and she instead calls my friend's mom, it's not that helpful. But it's funny, and it probably stops me from being lazy because this watch has definitely been keeping me more active, and I've been paying a lot of attention to it because of that. Now, let's talk about the new hardware features with this device. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the Apple Watch Series 11 is more of an incremental or marginal update from the Series 10 as compared to a full-on refresh. So the new features for this watch are not massive improvements, but they definitely are felt, namely that battery life. It's seen an improvement from before 18 hours to now 24, which especially for me as someone who has not needed to ever charge my watch in the past, I found to be still not ideal for me. But I can use this watch for 2 days sometimes without needing a charge. So that improved battery life is definitely there. My advice for you, if you purchase an Apple Watch and want to use its sleep tracking so you can't charge it at night, then find a time consistently that works for you to charge your device on the daily. Thankfully, because I'm pretty consistent with my morning schedule, after I wake up, I'll charge my watch while I get ready for the day. By the time I'm done, the watch is fully charged along with everything else I was charging at that time. If you do something like that, you can easily navigate the charging requirements. But again, this can last a couple of days if you don't constantly play with it. So that battery for a smartwatch, and especially an Apple Watch, is pretty good. Other updates for this watch include improved screen durability with a 2 times more scratch-resistant screen on the Series 11 compared to the 10, which is great, but given the craziness of my life, I put everything I own in a case. So this watch had about 30 minutes of freedom before being locked up in a case. So that didn't impact me too much. Moreover, 5G connectivity. Although possibly great for you if you want to leave your iPhone at home and just bring your watch with you, I opted to not go for that upgrade because I rarely go without my phone. And that's about it in terms of the hardware upgrades. And as you can tell, this is a very modest update from the previous generation. And that's because, well, these watches are pretty good. Yes, it's pricey. Yes, it needs a case for my uses at least. And yes, it's not a designer watch, but for what it does and what it is without a doubt amazing for me. The Series 11 update, though, compared to the Series 10, it's a blink and you'll miss it improvement. Overall, though, as a whole package, I'd give the Apple Watch Series 11 an 8.5 out of 10. So what do you think of the new Apple Watch Series 11? Is there anything you'd like to see with the watch? Let me know in the comment section down below, and be sure to check out the watch and its accessories in the affiliate links in the description. My name is Seeroost. It's spelled like Cyrus, pronounced like Sea Rooster. Just take out the tur. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Peace.